Hello and welcome. I'm Dee Dee Star, and you have reached Love Seen Heard, the channel. And I told you all, if you were here the last time, that I'm going to continue to talk about loyalty. Some people were in the comments and they left messages to the last video, and they could relate exactly what was going on with the conversation of loyalty in the last video. But I'm at it again. This time, I want you to test yourself because some people think they're not too loyal to a fault. They may be kidding themselves. So I want to go back and dive into this conversation just a little bit more. And when we're finished, you may say, you know what, Dee Dee? My loyalty is good. I know how to be loyal to the proper degree. Or you may be thinking, you know what? I'm loyal to a fault. I'm too loyal to people, places, things, organizations, jobs. I have a loyalty problem. Now, guess what? I'm not here to diagnose because I'm not the doctor or the therapist. I just simply want to have this conversation. It's something that has been tugging at my heart. So, why don't you sit back, relax? If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the like button. If you want to wait till after the video is over to see whether you like it or not, it's okay. Just don't forget to hit the like when we leave out of this video. And if you forget, you can always come back. And while you're listening to the video, I would like for you to comment down below. I want to hear some engagement. So I'll be back after the intro. Oh, I'm back. Let me ask the question one more time. Do you think you are too loyal? Loyal in relationships, not just being simply loyal, but too loyal, loyal to a fault. Relationships, jobs, family members, friends, and the list goes on and on. Do you sometimes feel that you may be in a position to be there? I said in the last video, or ride or die, ride until the wheels fall off, friends to the end, those type of things. Do you feel like that's you? It might be and it may not be. As I said before, I'm not a therapist or medical professional, so I'm not trying to diagnose anyone. But these conversations I like to have to get our wheels turning in our brains and also change things in our lives. Because as you know, we're on a journey to be loved, seen, heard, and that's a fundamental fact for all people. So, as you listen to my content, I hope you understand why I want to talk about these things. And also, best believe DD Star is on the journey with you. So, never feel like that I'm preaching or teaching and I'm not also taking in the knowledge myself. We're on a journey here. So I hope you are ready for the journey and the ride because there's more content like this to come in the near future. Before we totally get started, let me hit that banner real quick just to make sure that I'm not doing anything incorrect on the YouTube streets. Also, please, if you just arrived, hit the like button, please. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Let me say this as I've been thinking about it, because I love YouTube and I watch a lot of YouTube channels. But honestly, times I watch a few videos before I subscribe. So if you're like that, it's cool with me. I get it. Just make sure you hit the like button at least and keep coming back because I know I'm going to talk about something that you want to hear. And if I don't have a problem with you hitting me on IG and my DM saying, hey, Dee, can you talk about this subject or what do you think about that? Or you can email me at Love Seen Heard. Everything is Love Seen Heard. So that's my spiel. Let's get back to the content. So sometimes when we think about loyalty or somebody's loyal to someone, something, their job, whatever the case may be, it's really a beautiful trait to have. We talked about that. But did you know that loyalty has its pros and cons? Let's delve into the positive and the negative aspects of loyalty. And this video, even though some things may seem like I said it before, it is going to be slightly different because I'm going to throw out some questions that you can think about to answer the question whether you are loyal to a fault. So let's talk about excessive loyalty. Have you ever thought about yourself as not being able to say no? You know, when you're at that job and they just keep piling on the work, and instead of you saying, wait a minute, I need help here, this is too much, or you taking on jobs that are out of your pay grade, you may have a problem with being too loyal. How about you're in a relationship that you know is toxic, but you still stay because you're very loyal? See, it's really difficult at times to leave that marriage mate or if boyfriend or girlfriend because you want to see it all the way through and make sure that if you leave, you're not making the worst mistake of your life. However, if the relationship is toxic, you've already made the worst mistake of your life. Just saying, honesty point. I've done it, been there, done that. But are you constantly afraid of being abandoned? Some people may think of that as being silly, but I know for a fact, and when I say for a fact, I'm talking about Dee Dee Star. I used to be afraid to be alone, or I didn't want to feel like somebody was abandoning me. So I would take the relationship on maybe like a project. Even if they're doing things that I didn't like, some kind of way in my brain, I thought, well, I can help them to see my way. I've grown out of that, I'm glad to say. But there's people like that in the world who feel like even though the person may not have the best qualities or trait, I can change them. Are you that person? Do you tend to ignore the red flags at the beginning of the relationship, hoping that as the relationship continues, it will get better? If you answer yes to any of these questions, you might have a problem with being loyal to a fault. So, those just a couple of questions. Let's take a little more. I took the liberty of looking up some things and I want to talk about that as well. So, I found some things on the Google. That's our new encyclopedia. So, anyway, one thing I found out, it says that loyalty can be harmful when it blinds or prevents people from moving on, or when it becomes detrimental to someone. And it gives an example. For example, loyalty can be harmful in relationships when someone stays in an abusive relationship because of their loyalty. It can be harmful in workplace when leaders value loyalty over other qualities, which can lead to bad decisions. Examples of that, we know there's people who back in the day, because now the millennials and I don't know what I think it's Gen Z and I don't know what all the little generational names are, but the younger people, they get it. They don't like a job, they're out of there. That could be a good and a bad thing, but most people nowadays have learned that you should not stay in a toxic job environment hoping that it's going to set you up for the future. What do I mean by that? When we were young, our parents taught us you find a good job, you stay 20, 25, 30 years, and you retire with a good 401k. Now, think about what you may have had to go through within those 20, 25, 30 years. Was the 401k worth it? And not to mention, you have a 401k, you trying to build it up because they constantly teaching you that when you get in your senior years, there may not be any social security left. So the money that you've paid into the social security benefit, yeah, that might not be offered to you. So you better be making sure you have a plan in place like 401k, stacking your money so that when you get older, you can live off of that for the rest of your life. They show us videos like going traveling and eating fine dining and, doing a lot of things. And that has been true for some people. However, there are people who stay at those jobs for 20 to 30 years, work their fingers to the bone, and pass away before they can ever touch that savings that they have in 401k. I know what you're saying. That's not a good thing to think about, but it is. Because honestly, we have a lot of people who still are in that mindset and they are dealing with some of the most toxic work environments ever. Have you ever heard that saying, going postal? We know where that came from. But have you ever thought about that a lot of those people who end up in that situation was probably going through some toxic things at work and they felt like they had no way out? Think about it. It's a possibility. I don't know for sure, but I'm just saying. Sometimes that loyalty to that company can be so unhealthy and toxic for your life that it's not worth the pay. It's not worth saving for the future. It's not worth your mental stress at the end of the day. But hey, this is commentary just to get your wheels turning and wondering, am I loyal to a fault? Just saying. So the next article, and that was a Google definition that I looked up. So you can just look up, can loyalty be bad? And it'll come right on up in Google. I looked up, this is a one of my favorites to read is Very Well Mind. It's a little digital magazine article with a lot of different psychology points in it. They have so many articles about so many things. Put the links in the description so you can look it up too if you want to. But I found this interesting. It says the drawbacks of loyalty. Loyalty can be harmful when your allegiance to the other person becomes consistently detrimental to you. Okay, I'm gonna read that one more time. It says loyalty can be harmful when your allegiance to the other person becomes consistently detrimental to you. So, have you been in those type of relationships where They seem perfectly fine, but you just can't seem to get out the slump. You just seem so depressed, and emotionally, you're all over the place. But you always looking at that other person, and they seem fine. Could it be possible that that relationship is sucking the life out of you, but giving them life? I'm just saying, something to think about. So the next paragraph says, some people remain in relationships that no longer serves them. In these instances, their sense of loyalty can cause them to become exploited or abused. Although loyalty is an important trait, it should never be used against someone. We know how people do, that manipulation tactic to make you feel like that you have to be loyal to them. Let's read a little further. It says someone who is loyal can have difficulty recognizing when someone they love is manipulating them. An outside perspective from a friend, family member, colleague, or therapist who has their best interests at heart can be helpful. Let's think about that. I'm going to read it again. Someone who is loyal can have difficulty recognizing when someone they love is manipulating them. An outside perspective from a friend, family member, colleague, or therapist who has their best interests at heart can be helpful. Now, I know sometimes you got those people that's bad because they'll tell you every guy you get with is no good. I've been around those type of people. Everything is negative, everything is bad. So you really can't take their advice. However, what the article is saying is you know the ones who have your best interests at heart. Those are the ones that you need to talk to, or at least get their perspective on what you're going through in a relationship. Because, see, I've talked about this before in one of my previous videos. That word gaslighting. It's so funny because a lot of people think that word is brand new. However, they had a movie about it in the 40s. I like the movie. You should watch it. And it's in black and white. But that movie showed how manipulation can be done to a person who is too loyal to their marriage mate. Just a small little bit about the movie. The lady marries a guy, seems like the perfect guy. They move into a house that was owned by her aunt, who was very wealthy. And the aunt mysteriously dies, and this niece of her inherits the home. So, of course, she brings home her husband to live with her in that home. Long story short, he starts doing little things to manipulate her and to make her believe she's going insane out of her mind. But guess what? She was so blinded by her love for him, she couldn't see it. And then, of course, at the end, it was all found out. So just watch that movie and see how that happened. But a lot of times, that's what happened in relationships even today. People are so in love, they're so trusting that they can't even see that the person is totally manipulating them. That comes from being loyal to a fault, putting yourself in those type of blinded situations. So, like I said, I'll link this article below so you can read it. It has some other interesting points into it about how to build loyalty because, as I said before, loyalty is not a bad trait when it's properly done. So we have to have the perfect degree of loyalty to people, places, things, organizations, children, family, friends, and so on and so on and so on. We have to have the proper degree so that it could be beneficial for our lives. That's what we're saying here. That's all we're saying. Because remember, on this side of YouTube, we're on a journey to to be loved, seen, and heard. And this is one factors that will help you continue on your journey. Okay? So before we go, these questions are not for you to answer to me. It's just something that you need to think about. Okay? So I'm going to ask these questions and I'll pause and you can rewind this video, think about it a little bit more, however you want to do it. I do want some comments though. Please do that. Please comment, but you don't have to comment how you feel about those questions unless you want to. You can just comment about overall about how you liked the video or didn't. And let me know what your true feelings are because I do want the feedback. I really do. I want to know if I'm on the right page or if I need to turn the page because I'm all the way going to the left. You know, because I love this YouTube commentary and I want to be helpful. I don't want to be distracting or take away from the entertainment portion and the importance of what we learn here on YouTube. So, just a thought. Now, the first question I want to ask, and like I said, these are questions that you can use to reflect within your personal life whether you are loyal to a fault. So, here's the first question. Think of a recent situation where you had to choose between loyalty to a person and loyalty to your values. How did you handle it? I'm going to say it again just so we can think. And I do apologize. My voice is getting a little dry. So I don't know what it is, but when I get on YouTube and start talking, I start getting this little hoarseness in my voice. So please forgive me and bear with me. But I do want to read this question again. It says, think of a recent situation where you had to choose between loyalty to a person and loyalty to your values. How did you handle it? I wish this was like a Jeopardy game. That's one of my favorite TV shows when it comes to game shows. I like a lot of them, but I like Jeopardy because it makes you think. So if I had the theme music, I would play it, but oh well, I don't have it today. So we'll move on to question two. And like I said, if I go too fast in the questions, you can always rewind, write them down. And this is something just to help us reflect on where we stand when it comes to loyalty. So, question number two, describe a time when your loyalty may have led you to make a decision that you later regretted. What did you learn from that experience? Ooh, that's a good one. Let me say it again. Question two, describe a time when your loyalty may have led you to make a decision that you later regretted. What did you learn from that experience? Take some time. Think about it. No, don't rush. This is your journey. Take as long as you need. Let's go to question three. How do you balance loyalty with maintaining personal boundaries? Give an example. How do you balance loyalty with maintaining personal boundaries? Give an example. So let's think about that. Do you feel you have a balance when it comes to your loyalty? Or do you feel like the loyalty takes over when it comes to your personal boundaries? Only you can answer. Let's go to question four. Reflect on a relationship where your loyalty has been tested. What were the signs and how did you address the situation? Let's say it one more time. Reflect on a relationship where your loyalty has been tested. What were the signs and how did you address the situation? Now, I'm going to be honest. I really do want to hear what some of you all want to say to these questions. That's because I'm nosy. Not just because I'm nosy, but I'm curious. I'm curious. I know how I want to answer them. And so I'm going to do another video on loyalty where I actually answer these questions for you, as well as give some different tips and tricks about putting loyalty in its proper place. So I do have a loyalty 3 video coming up. So look forward to putting that out for you all too. But let's go to question 5. It says, consider your definition of loyalty. How does it align with your actions and decisions? Do you feel this alignment is healthy or does it need to be adjusted? Ooh, ooh. See, we got to think about these questions. I'm going to ask you again. Consider your definition of loyalty. Does it align with your actions and decisions? Do you feel this alignment is healthy or does it need adjustments? As I said before, these are reflective questions, personal questions. You can answer them or not. You can send me a DM and let me know what you feel about these questions. And, or you can ask more questions about it. I don't mind. But as I said before, we're on a journey of self reflection. We're on a journey of being loved, seen, heard. We're on a journey to improving our lives. And it starts by looking at some of these qualities that people have and focusing on how we can better ourselves with these different qualities. So, like I said before, and I always say this, I have so much content that I want to talk about in these different areas. And so I'm trying to get them out and do more. Times I'm just going to be honest, it takes a lot out of me when I do this kind of content because I'm really passionate about it and I really want to help people in different ways. As we keep going down this journey, it's so many things I'm working on personally and professionally that I really want to get your insight on. And, hopefully you all can join me on some different things. So the YouTube is just the beginning. I just want to, start this platform so I can do some things that I've been passionate about for a long time. And now I'm at the point where I can see it through. So just keep following me through this journey. And I want all of us to really grow with each other. So, if you don't mind, I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions on these 5 questions. I'm going to put them in the description box. You don't have to answer the questions within my comment section. However, you can send me an email at loveseeingheard@gmail.com or you can DM me at my Instagram, which is Love Seeing Heard, because I do want to have some commentary about this and conversation because we don't grow if we only keep things inside and we're hiding who we are within. So that's my ask. You know, let me know how you feel about the questions, even if you don't want to tell me the answers. I just want to get some feedback on them, okay? I feel like we're getting a little close on this YouTube channel. And I hope that I'm inspiring others. And if you do feel inspired to do your own YouTube channel because maybe there's things you want to talk about that's important to you, we have so many awesome people on YouTube already. But guess what? They're not you. So if you have something in particular that you feel passionate about, I do want to encourage you to go to De Silva as a trainer because she's really encouraging. She's very easy to train with, and she'll teach you some good tips and tricks about YouTube, as well as help build your confidence as being a content creator. After this commentary, do you still feel the same about your loyalty? You know, you got it down packed to a science. You know you're not too loyal. You don't allow people to overstep your loyalty, your moral values, whatever the case may be. You left the job already because of the toxic environment and you felt like they were overworking you and you didn't feel like you needed to be loyal to them. at the risk of your own personal health. You left that relationship, that friendship, because you saw that you were in a toxic abuse cycle and you knew that you had to leave in order to get your mental intact and to be a healthy person. If you've done that, kudos to you. And that's a wonderful thing. And for all of us who are continuously working on loyalty, because it sneaks and creeps up in different ways. Like I said, it could be loyalty to a job, it can be loyalty to a mate, it can be loyalty to a friend, or organization that you're a part of, networking group. It could be so many things that you can be loyal to a fault. And that's only because whatever that situation is, it is detrimental to your health and your life. So let's break these cycles. Let's put ourselves first. This is a part of being healthy people and knowledgeable about what we want for our own life so we can continue to learn and grow. So, what is my takeaway from this video? We are testing ourselves to see where we stand when it comes to loyalty. I encourage you to rewind, replay, whatever you have to do. Ask yourself some of those questions. You may be surprised what answers you get. Start a journal. And maybe if you find that loyalty is something difficult for you to deal with, maybe you can start a journal and write down every time you're put in a situation where your loyalty is tested to your detriment. And then look at where you're growing or where you need some work. We're going to do that together. I'm glad that I said that too, because the next video, we're going to dive into that a little bit more. So stay tuned. Remember, if you didn't feel love before you came, I promise you, I love you. That's why I'm here, and that's why I do this content. Other people out there need love too. Please, please show love to others. If you feel like people don't see you, you may be invisible in your own life. And people don't always get that. So let me explain it today. There's people who live with a house full of people that feel invisible. There's people on a job and there's hundreds of workers, but they feel invisible. When you feel invisible in that way, you don't think anyone sees your efforts, your achievements, your goodness, your insight, the intelligence that you have, the love that you show. A person who feels invisible don't think that anyone else in the world see them as a person. If you feel like that, I see you. And I definitely want to see you in those comments so I can talk to you and interact with you more. If you know someone that seems to be a little bit off-putting, sometimes they are only to themselves. They may seem awkward in certain situations. Let them know you see them. Even if you can only just give them a look, give them a compliment, do something to make them feel worthy and let them know, I see you. If you didn't feel like you were being heard before you came, I hear you. And especially if you put a comment in the comment section, I hear you. If you've commented with me before, you know I really try to get back and reply to the comments, at least by putting a heart, or I try to say something back to you. I love to talk. Can't you tell? I'm on YouTube talking all the time. So please, I like to interact with you. So if you don't want to comment on the page, it's okay, even though the comments help the YouTube channel to grow as well as it keeps the engagement going. But if you don't want to comment there, like I always say, you can go to my DMs on IG, Love Seen Heard, and you can comment there, or you can send me an email. People still doing that these days. I don't mind. Love Seen Heard. And just, If I don't get back to you right away, I promise you I'll see it and I'll get back to you soon. The last point, if you need to be heard, I got you. But also, if you're thinking about someone that you haven't talked to in a long time, that may be depressed, may be sick, shut in, or you just wondering what's going on with them, please let them know you hear them by giving them a call, texting them, and giving them the courtesy of listening. It may be difficult to listen to because people are going through things in this life right now. It's a struggle financially, physically, emotionally, mentally. There's so many things in the news. But if you can give care to one person, I promise you, it won't only benefit them, but it'll also benefit you. So, as usual, I am here to be here for you as well as you don't understand what you do for me. We on a journey together. And as I always say, please come back for more of this commentary because I want you to be loved, seen, heard. And I also want you to share that with others. Thank you. And I'm out. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.